So, today we are going to talk about the detrimental mindset. We talked a little bit about it last week, but we're going to dive deeper. So the thought behind this was when Jesus was questioned by the religious leaders about doing casting out devils with the power of Satan. And he responds, can Satan cast out Satan? Can a kingdom divided against itself, can it stand? And the answer, of course, is absolutely no. But can a detrimental mindset overcome a detrimental mindset? And what I mean by that is, Jesus said, don't think you overcome evil with evil, but overcome evil with good. And so we still have this old way of thinking, this old mindset, this old fleshly mind that thinks it knows best, right? And so in turn, we try to cast out Satan with the power of Satan. And what I mean by that is that we try to do it solo. And we found out through our life that solo doesn't work, right? That we need the power of God in our lives. But for some reason, we decide we got this. I remember when my daughter was young, she was always like, Daddy, I do it. Daddy, I do it. And so in recovery and in the Christian life, we come to God, we come to the Father, right? Because we can't do it. And so we begin this lifestyle, and then all of a sudden we're like, Daddy, I do it. Daddy, I do it. Not understanding that it was the same mindset that got us into trouble to begin with. So can we overcome addictive behaviors? Can we overcome what the church calls sin by the power of sin? Can we overcome addictive behaviors by other addictive behaviors? And now it's a popular thing out there. It's addiction swapping. And so we swap addictions. We trade one for the other. And we think that that's going to bring us the success that we want, but we can't overcome the problems that we're facing, the mindset, with the same mindset that got us into trouble to begin with. Can addictive behaviors really overcome addictive behaviors? You see, we need a new perspective. A lot of people think that they can swap addictions, and that is, I think I'm just going to go to church all the time. And we look at that and we say, whoa, that's good. That's godly. Go to church all the time. Yeah, give 100%. But when we swap one addiction for the other, even though it might be a good one, we're still going to get it out of balance in some way. Think about this. If you become addicted to the gym or to working out and to exercise and all of those things, right? How can that turn detrimental? It can. Absolutely, because when we turn anything into an obsessive compulsion, to an addiction, it begins to dominate that area of our life, and then the other areas of our life begin to fall off. And so there's nobody who can spend 5 hours a day in the gym focusing on how beautiful they want to look, and they talk about how much weight they lost and how sexy they are, and all this stuff, and the other parts of their life are out of balance. And that's because we think addiction swapping works. Now, it's really hard because, many people that have overcome addiction, they go to like eating or something. And I know alcohol is a main one because of the sugars and stuff that you're not getting anymore. And so it's easy to go, I'm going to overeat. And then all of a sudden we have a food addiction. All of a sudden we got exercise addiction. We got a religious addiction, right? And so what needs to happen is not addiction swapping, but begin to create balance in your life, in your family, faith, fitness, and finance. Balance, so you're holistically building all of those areas up at the same time and not swapping addiction. You see, there was this old term. I've been in the recovery circle for a while. I went to recovery groups when I was a teenager. I had a sponsor and all those cool things. But there was this word that they described was a dry drunk. And what that was a drunk who still had all the habits, a drunk that still had everything wrong with his life. He just wasn't drinking. And so a lot of times we think addiction is the problem. Now, addiction is only the symptom of the problem. And of course, addiction we use to mask and to cover, sedate, push down those feelings. But it's never really the core problem. It's something that we use to cope. It's a substance that we use because we don't have the skills and resources to be successful, right? And so we utilize something else. But a dry drunk has all the same unhealthy habits. You know, they drop the drinking, but all of a sudden they're overeating. They're smoking like a chimney and drinking 2 pots of coffee, right? And think that their life's not going to be chaotic. And everything is still chaos. Everything is still messed up. And because we don't deal with the issues that are going on the inside, what begins to happen is we still have all these unhealthy relationships. Our relationships are still falling apart. But by God, we ain't drinking. We're not snorting cocaine anymore, right? And so we still have these areas of our life, and the mindset and the shift needs to change, because the I could do it, daddy mentality has got us into trouble. And so what needs to happen is a mindset shift that says, you know what, I'm going to trust and rely on His power to get His kind of results. Because I've done it myself. I know what kind of results that I get. I know what kind of results I get when I'm in my own power, when I'm in my flesh, when I'm in this stinking thinking. I know what kind of results I get. And so the mindset shift is, you know what? I'm going to trust in Abba Father. I'm going to trust in God to get His kind of results, because those are the kind of results that I want. A dry drunk still has all this emotional baggage that they're dealing with, because they're unwilling to face the truth about what they think, what they feel, and what they really want on the inside. And so another main destructive sign of this dry drunk syndrome is you still got all this anger. It's all pent up on the inside. You're unwilling to forgive. It's like a time bomb ticking. Or one of the biggest ones, you still got this victim mentality. Look at what the world has done to me. Look at this. Look at that. Playing the role of the victim. And it's completely normal to have this sense of victimization at the starting of your recovery, right? But if we're holding on to this victim, it's going to show up in every single area of our lives. And we wonder why our relationships aren't rocking. We wonder why we ain't got no money in the bank. We're visiting the pawn shop, every week. It's because we have to be willing to deal with the anger. You see, our way. When I look past in my life and I examine what my way got me, it got me a failed marriage, right? It got me no sex. It got me lack of intimacy. It got me pornography. It got me sedating every night with alcohol. For some people, it might have got you some jail time, right? Might have got you an unhealthy body like myself. Severely overweight. If any of you have seen my picture before and after, you guys know what I'm talking about. That this mentality, your way, has got you very destructive results. It's got me an empty bank account. It's got me spiritually dead, where I don't even feel connected to God, where I can't hear Him, where I'm not receiving any inspiration or revelation. That's my way. That's what my way has got me. Some of us, our children hate us because of all the pain that we've caused, right? And so there's a relationship to fix. There's damage to be repaired. But we have made so many negative deposits, and our children hate us. Why? Because we were doing it our way. And another thing is that we have a business that's failing. Once again, because we're doing our way. Can Satan cast out Satan? Can flesh cast out the flesh? Could my own stinking thinking begin to correct my life? Is more of this way of thinking going to get the results that I want? I said all that to say this. Here's the reality. I think we should try his way. He's a better captain of the ship, right? He's a better leader. He gives us principles that if we put into practice, we begin to produce some positive fruit into our life. So the question I have for you today is this. What area of your life are you still trying to do it your way? Is that in your family, your faith, your fitness, and your finance? What area of your life are you still trying to do it your way? And it's not easy to. It's so easy to discover which area, because it's the area it's not getting results. If that is your bank account and it's all empty, I can guarantee you are doing it your way. If it's the emotional bank account of your children and of your spouse, I can guarantee what? You're doing it your way. And you're like, Daddy, me do it. Daddy, me do it. If it's in the area of your faith, and you're thinking, connection with God, being inspired by Him, time for meditation or a little bit of prayer and all those things. And you're like, nah, I ain't got time for that. Daddy, I do it. I do it my way. You only need to look at your faith to see that your way is not working. You only need to look at your body, your business, your finances, whatever it is, and understand this. I'm doing it my way in that area of my life. And I'm not getting God's kind of results because I'm working with that old mindset of Daddy, I do it. I do it. Instead of daily being empowered by Him to get His kind of results.